I'm walking around Ashenvale as a Furbolg, well dressed as a Furbolg, and asking players to help me break the curse so that I can go back to being a night elf. The way they can help me with this is by completing a couple of quests that I have prepared for them. Although this time, I'm not really mentioning that I have any rewards, even though I absolutely do. Since I was being pretty ambiguous about the whole thing, I found it pretty hard to get people on board. A lot of people thought I was just messing around, so they didn't take my request seriously. Others weren't exactly sure how to react, so they just straight up walked away. With a few of them leaving me a buff before they went off into the distance. I had a couple of people suggest that I remove the curse by right-clicking the buff, which is practical, but not exactly what I'm looking for. There was even one person who was concerned for my well-being. Overall, people were just curious, but not necessarily interested in helping me out. This was pretty understandable, because I was catching them mid-quest after all. At one point, I saw a rogue sneaking around, and I guess he thought that I couldn't see him. So I just kept throwing lines out there and hoping that I'd get his interest. I eventually walked up to him and introduced myself. I explained what my situation was, and then I presented him with his first quest. This required him to go to the nearby town, Astronar, and visit the baker there so he can grab me some bread. It looked like he was here to kill this NPC, so I offered to help him with it as a gesture of goodwill. Looks like he's in. Now I gotta wait for him to make the full trip. Soon enough, he showed up again. He actually brought me the best bread that they had in store, which was kinda sweet. It was time to give him his rewards for the first quest. Now let's see if he's willing to go one step further. The next quest is the one that breaks the curse. I'm sending him out to retrieve 5 clams from the Nagas to the west, and 5 spider ichor from the spiders you can find around the area. Once he has them, he has to bring them to the shrine of Esina, so that we can do the ritual there. After he went off, I made my way to the shrine and settled in. This was going to take some time. That's everything we need. Here we go. And yes, I am using Teleport Moonblade. Imagine if I cast it by accident.
By the light of the moon.
Since he's a rogue, he gets a dagger and a mace, both enchanted with a fiery weapon. I'm actually pretty impressed with this player, because I didn't really offer him anything for his help. He just went out of his way to participate and help me out. I decided to ask him why he stopped by, and his answer was pretty great. I'm glad I ran into him. Now, let's get back to patrolling the Furbolg camps. I ran into a lot of Horde while I was out here. I actually interacted more with them than the Alliance. Their reactions were always interesting to me. Some of them laughed when they realized what I was. And others started backpedaling. I'm pretty sure this guy just broke a record. They were generally pretty wary of me, and it didn't really help that I enjoyed spooking them from time to time. This orc was a different case, though. Instead of getting scared, he motioned for me to follow him. I realized he was taking me to Tidris, a water elemental that he probably needs for a quest. Surprisingly, I stumbled upon quite a few quests and found myself involved somehow.
Good journey.
I did this particular quest at least 3 or 4 times because random hordes kept trying to do it solo, and that's a bad idea. It basically spawns enemies until the boss shows up, and it's a bit too much for solo players to handle. If there's one thing I learned, it's that there's always someone, somewhere, with 1 HP. You just have to get lucky finding them. After a lot of waiting, I got a message from someone who watches my videos. He was wondering if I had any quests for him at level 23. Perfect timing. Now, I don't usually do it this way, because it's kind of hard to tailor a quest specifically for a person, but he was in the right place at the right time. To break the curse, I told him I needed some bubbling water from the elementals that you can find at this lake. Since we didn't meet in the open world, I had to invite him to group so that we'd be on the same layer.
Yes.
Looks like we got an overachiever. I was really happy to receive his message. He came through just when I needed him.
By the light of the moon.
Of course, there were other players who volunteered to help me out, but they weren't as many as you'd expect. I still had fun though.